Hello, my name is Chris Simmons. Welcome to The Real Deal. I'm here with my guest, Derek Sellens, and he is a current student at the University of Kansas, and he's also the current president of KUTV. Welcome to my show.
Hey everybody, glad to be here.
So, how did you get your start in KUTV?
Well, when I first came to KU, I knew that I wanted to do film, and I looked up all the different organizations, and I found both KU Filmworks and KU TV. So I started with KU Filmworks, and I go there, and they're doing some production at the same time. KU TV was doing not as much, but they were there and they had their own equipment. So I got to know everybody who was in charge of that and everybody who was involved in that.
It's real good. So, when was this organization actually created?
I'm not sure when it was created. It was created before I was a student at KU, and I'm not really sure why they made it either. But from what I understand, it's just another reason to make production, another reason to make movies. And since they had a group for making short projects, they should also have a group for making television projects too, because it's just another aspect of filmmaking.
So, what is the election process of becoming the president of KUTV?
Well, when I became president of KUTV, I wasn't elected in. The previous president, Josh Efron, the group wasn't doing so well. We didn't have very much attendance because there weren't regular meetings. So he graduated, and he needed somebody to take it up after he left. So he handed it to me, and he had no idea that I was going to actually do anything with it. And when he found out I was like doing stuff with it and making meetings, he was like, "Oh, I didn't think you were going to do that." So that's how I got handed it. But when I leave, now that we have standard meetings, that was big and important. We are going to actually have and vote in another president when it's time for me to go because of graduation and absorbing myself into real life.
That should be tough. That's coming up real soon, isn't
Yeah.
it? So, so you're a current student at KU. What is your actual major of study?
Well, technically, it's a theater and film degree, but I try to make it as much as possible a film production degree. But there is no film production degree. There's film studies under theater and film, and then there's theater. So I try to do as much production as possible. So that means going to the clubs, going to events, going to film festivals and whatnot, making any excuse to make a film, do all the production classes, and these groups like Filmworks and KUTV just make it's so much easier to get that done and to meet other people who want to do the same thing.
So, what do you plan to do with your career after you graduate from KU?
Well, planning to do and what actually doing with a film degree are two completely different things. What I want to do is I want to go out and then make the next Star Trek TV show that doesn't suck, because I love science fiction. I love visual effects. I do a lot of work in that, and also just the makeup and the universe that they create with all this bizarre looking people. I would absolutely love to work on something like that and do a major part of like writing in every element of production. But I know that when I graduate and go out to California, I'm going to have my nice University of Kansas degree, and they're going to be like, oh, and I'm going to get the lowest job and have to prove myself and go up from office PA to intern to anything, and I have to start pretty much back at the bottom and use my previous experiences to give myself knowledge on how to move up and how to work really well on a set and how to get to where I want to go.
So, when you graduate from KUTV, and not just KUTV, but also the University of Kansas, are you still going to be the president, or are you going to still be involved in KUTV? What is your plans on that?
I'm not going to be the president anymore. You have to be a student to be a officer in a group. I'm going to be an advisor. Like, I'm still going to be around. People are going to be able to call me on my cell phone and whatnot. But when I leave, we'll either have an election process or somebody else will be appointed. But I'm pretty sure we're going to elect after or close to graduation, so I can set up other students to take in the responsibility and know how to get things done properly.
So, does it get hard trying to keep this group together? Because I know you have some members that you have some members, a lot of members you keep track of just for like one person. So, does it get really hard to keep them together?
It's not really that hard. Once we established, Fridays at 4, that's our meeting. Once we establish that, I get about 15 to 30 people per meeting, and it really doesn't go less than 10. It's very consistent, and a lot of the people became friends through this, and they're pretty much their closest friends at the university. So it's become a big kind of social gathering that people, I can't miss one of those meetings. Same thing with FilmWorks, it's like, I can't wait until that week where we get to do something again and we get to shoot something like this or a different kind of fictional narrative show or anything else like that. So it's not too hard. Everybody gets on each other's nerves now and then, but everybody keeps coming back for more.
What's the best project that you have ever did with KUTV?
My favorite project would definitely have to be the Candy Mountain Sex Shop shorts, which are on our YouTube at www.youtube.com/user/KUTV production club. So go there, search on YouTube, and you'll see we put up all these shorts where we had a porn shop set set up for like a week, and it had to be there. And I'm like, we have to shoot something with this. other than why it's set up, we have to take advantage of this. So we got everyone together, and everybody got to be a part of it. We had one of the girls who was like right there. She was she was the girl behind the shop. She's working at the porn shop, and then everybody got to come up who was there and do a little skit. It's like I'm trying to sell a porn that I made at home, and a creepy guy who is in love with her secretly and whatnot. So it's all these things that go on in a porn shop. Everybody got to be involved with it. Everybody got to do what they want to do. Everybody had fun. It was spur of the moment thing, and it just turned out to be a really great project.
So did you create this porn shop in your house, or did y'all rent an actual porn shop, or how did that go about?
It was for a project called Priest in a Porn Shop, where they did need a porn shop, obviously, because it's about a priest who goes in a porn shop. So they looked around at all the different places, maybe even changing a library or something like that into a porn shop by putting up a couple dildos and other random things. So eventually it came down to they had to spend like $90-some dressing our friend's living room to look like a porn shop and getting shelves and getting everything, which it turned out to look pretty good, but it's just an apartment living room.
So are you planning to get the porn shop show into like syndication for a big network?
No, it's just 5 random short 5-minute projects, and it's really fun. I'm gonna send it out to film festivals. People love it a lot. It's not offensive in any way. It's just a bizarre little project that we worked on that I'm really proud of.
Well, you never know. HBO, they pick some pretty tough stuff.
If you were to give it a conflict, it might become a good show, but there's absolutely no conflict other than what the hell is going on with these people. That's about it.
So, who do you think is the next president, or the best in line to be the next president of KUTV?
Well, at this point, I'm really proud of everybody who has been working. I mean, a lot of them, more than 90% of them are freshmen, and they all just like came. They all really want to do this stuff with the university, and they've all put so much effort into it. I could see any of them doing a more than good job in a leadership role. I mean, they've all learned a lot just in both film and how to conduct themselves and meetings. So I could really see any of them really taking off and flourishing with this in the future.
That's really supportive of you, and there's not a lot of people in this world today that has that support from their other members in their organization, because everything is so much about the money or so much about how much somebody can get out of it, and I really appreciate you for being real about that.
It's not that difficult with students, but when we graduate, it becomes all about the money with film, and it becomes so much more difficult, but I really like the people, and I think everybody else really likes the people, and it's all about the attitude you give it. You gotta have a can-do, I'll kick butt and get this thing done. It's gonna be fucking awesome sort of attitude. Otherwise, if you come up there and you pitch your project like, I want to make a movie about something that takes place in a porn shop. Who's gonna want to work on that?
Nobody.
You gotta go out there. You gotta be crazy. You gotta be nuts. You gotta occasionally, clash. Your personality will clash, but you get more stuff done with more attitude and energy you put into what you want to do.
All right. Well, I thank you for coming out on my show. Thank you for coming. I'm Chris Simmons, and I'll see you next time on The Real Deal. This is The Real Deal, and I will see you next week.
Cut. Sweet.
Why are you looking like that? He's looking like...
Cut on D.